Welcome to Black Sheep's Time to Shine. My name is Jared Mello, and this is the place where all of the different kinds of black sheep can come together, judgment-free. And please remember that the little things in life do indeed matter. If we can't do the little things right, we're not going to be able to do the big things right. It's why I carry these wands around everywhere I go as a reminder to myself. Now, in today's video, what I'm going to talk about is a topic that a lot of people have wanted me to address. I make a lot of videos and posts about narcissism, and I talk about the kinds of toxic behaviors a narcissist will display, and sometimes people start to worry that they're the narcissist. So I want to make a video explaining how you can tell if that's you or not. And before I begin though, I do believe narcissism is a spectrum. There are severe narcissists, and then there are more lower grade narcissists. But regardless of that, no one is perfect. We all have shortcomings, we all have defects, and we all can have a bad day. But one of the big differences is, and this is going to lead right into the first way you can tell, is if you can admit you have a problem and take accountability and try to do something different. All narcissists have an extreme sensitivity to criticism, and the way it portrays itself a lot of times is not being able to admit when they're wrong, not being able to take accountability. And not only that though, not only can they not admit when they're wrong, and they do not tolerate disagreements well, but then they'll also gaslight and flip the script and be emotionally abusive too. So if you can admit when you're wrong and take accountability, and try to do better in the future, that's a very good sign that you are not a narcissist. Most narcissists, if not all, would fail that first step. Now, the second way you can tell. Almost all narcissists, I should say all narcissists, they fantasize about money, power, fame, fortune, women, beauty, sex. They will fantasize about one or more of those things. And the way that usually comes off in their life is most of their waking moments are spent seeking sources of supply. What is supply? Supply is an excessive need for admiration and people to praise them a lot. And people can get that from any number of sources, right? It can be from power, it can be from money, it can be from sex, relationships, all sorts of things. So here's another way you can tell. If you do not fantasize about one of those things all the time, that's another good sign. But not only that though, the narcissistic personality, they use other people, or things in some cases, as a way to regulate the inside of themselves. And how people think of them is humongous for them. So you can ask yourself this question. If you don't have some sort of romantic partner or some other source of supply, how do you feel? A truly narcissistic person, they're going to feel completely empty when they don't have some sort of outside source of self-esteem. And again, the outside sources of self-esteem come from money, fame, fortune, women, sex, beauty, men, if you're a woman, right? Those are the ways that they get their external source of esteem. Narcissists need tons of external validation. That is what narcissistic supply really is. It's an excessive need for this external validation. So that's another way you can tell. If you do not fantasize about those things and need an abundance of external validation, that's another very good sign. Now, the third way that you can tell, and the final way that we're going to talk about here is, do you feel genuine emotions? Narcissistic personalities, they are very low in empathy. I'm not going to say they have none, but they are usually very low in empathy. And they don't do well expressing emotions. So if they go to a place where they're supposed to be happy, they can sometimes not know how to do that. A place where they're supposed to be sad, they might not know how to do that either because they don't feel the genuine emotions that other people often feel. So they'll have to try to fake it. And that's one of the reasons why you see sometimes with celebrities when they're trying to show emotions about an event, It just seems like they're LARPing. It seems like they're live action role playing because they genuinely do not feel those emotions. They are trying to act out and pretend those emotions. So the final way to look at this is, if you can feel genuine emotions and actually feel real sadness, feel happiness, and feel the full range of emotions, that's another good sign that you aren't the narcissist. Now, as a caveat to some of this, people who are on the spectrum, they may also have a hard time feeling and experiencing the full range of emotions as well. So that's a caveat. And there are other types of people that express what would look to be narcissistic traits. Sometimes people that have CPTSD, for example, that can come off as looking like narcissistic behavior sometimes. But to go over it here, even with CPTSD, there is a little bit difference because they won't often be fantasizing about the money, power, fame, sex, beauty part as much. So the 3 ways you can tell. Can you admit when you're wrong and take accountability and try to do something about it? Because the people who can't generally have an extreme sensitivity to criticism, and that's how it portrays itself. Not being able to admit when they're wrong, and then not only that, gaslighting and flipping the script on the other person who calls them out. Secondly, do you have those fantasies about money, power, fame, sex, relationships, etc.? Do you need tons of external validation? Do you feel dead and empty if there's not some sort of external source of supply or validation coming your way? Because if you do, that would be a problem. If you need those kinds of things and you can't hardly function without them, that's a problem. And then third, finally, do you feel genuine emotions? Narcissistic people are pretty low in empathy, and they have a hard time experiencing genuine emotions and feeling the full range of emotions that a normal human being will have. And again, though, people on the spectrum may also struggle with that, and even people with CPTSD, they may also struggle with that too. So that's my video here on how you can tell that you are not the narcissist, or maybe you listened to this and realized maybe you are actually more on the narcissistic spectrum. And even if you are, though, if you are, I congratulate you on your honesty that you can admit it. That's a great first step. And back to step 1 here, a lot of the problematic narcissists, they cannot admit when they're wrong, and they cannot take accountability. So if you can do that, I would say you're on the path to recovery. But if that's you, I would say work on learning to respond rather than react, and being very honest with yourself. Honesty and humility are the antidotes to a problematic narcissistic personality. That will always be true. But the problem is, many times people can't be honest with themselves, and they can't be humble, and their lives suffer because of it. So if you've gotten this far, please like the video. If you did like the video, comment below your thoughts on this video here. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are there other things maybe you think I forgot? And please share this video with others that you think might benefit. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.